What's the expectations? We haven't even had our first day of practice yet. That'll actually start tomorrow. So we just showed up, and everybody looks healthy, but we'll find out more after we actually have physicals and get a chance to see people run tomorrow. But Max and I are talking, about our men's team on the way in here, and our men's group is there's only one senior on our team, and Jordan Swarthout, but our men's team, I think, is it's got great vibe and energy, and I'm excited about what this young group of men is going to bring to the table this year. Really, we return, Max and Joey. We have a couple of good leaders on our team, but no, I'm excited about what the men's team will do this fall. Goals for our group. Last year our men were 18th to the NCAAs, and I thought on a good day, maybe we could go be top 10 at the NCAA meet, and had some, just some stuff that happened the day of the meet, and a lot of teams go through that stuff. But I thought our men's group, ran well at the meet. So gaining, coming back from those experiences, our young group of guys, I think, getting back to the national meet and being a top 10 team is, I think, the goal of our men's team all the time. Our women's group, we lost a couple of pieces from our team the last 2 years. We're coming off of our two best finishes in program history. Win a national championship 2 years ago, and to walk away and be slightly disappointed with a third place finish last year, I think it says a lot about where our team has come and where we are headed. But again, the personalities have changed. This is a different team. We graduated, Katie Follett. We lose Anita Campbell from 2 years ago. Kendra Schaff, we had one transfer, but our women's group coming back, I'm incredibly excited about the talent and the attitude of our group, and I think the expectation has been changed here. And the goals of our program, I think our goals, we've won back-to-back Pac-10 titles. Like Mike alluded to earlier, we host the meet this year, so there's a little bit of pressure with hosting the meet. We want to go put on a show for the home folks. But our team will kind of see over the next month of, how our team kind of comes together, and, but they're very talented. We have two, great young women at the front. Christine Babcock sitting here. Super talented young woman. And then Mel Lawrence. Mel Lawrence is a multi-time All-American. Another senior in Lauren Saylor and Kenna Patrick. And so this team has great leadership. And then on top of that, our women's group, we had the number one recruiting class in the country for women's cross country. And so there are some very talented young women that are on our campus right now. And, but what happens over the next 10 weeks until, the last Monday in November will be exciting. And so the goals for our team will kind of, I think, take shape as the season progresses. But, again, the standard has been set high. Hosting the Pac-10 Championships, we're going to host the meet Saturday, October 30th, on the Jefferson Golf Course. I think, we've never run a meet there, but they are going to host the USA Cross Country Championships there in 2011. The course, it's a 2K loop. It's super spectator friendly. It's got a view of downtown Seattle and Lake Washington on the other side of it, so I think it'll be a very scenic, spectator-friendly course. And I think anytime you host a championship meet, you want to go out and do a very good job. And our men were third place at the Pac-10 meet last year, and the Pac-10 returns. Two of the top four teams right now are going to be from the Pac-10, and finish in the top three is the goal for our men's group. But in the women's group, again, we've won the last two. We went to Eugene a couple years ago when they were the number 2 team in the country, and they hosted the meet, and we had a perfect day there. So our goal again, Jefferson Golf Course last Saturday in October is to go out and we'd love to defend our Pac-10 championships, but again, our team, as the season progresses, we'll kind of figure out what this team is capable of doing.
Hey, Greg, talk to us a little bit about your incoming freshman class.
The incoming freshman group, it's recruiting last year was at the end, from based on the Foot Locker National High School Championships, I think we signed 5 of the best 8 seniors in the country. And so we signed, a group of young women that come in are fully prepared to, compete at this level. If they just come in and do what they did as high school seniors, they're gonna impact our team. But we bring in Megan Goethals, the Foot Locker National High School champion. She did not lose a race at any distance as a senior in high school. She was the fastest young woman in the country at 3,200 meters. She, comes in here well prepared. She had a great summer of training, and Megan is. Christine was 7th as a freshman at the NCAA championships. And I think Megan is capable. That was, I think being in the top 15 is Megan's goal right now. Katie Flood was the Nike national champion last year. She was second in the country at 3,000 meters. She was, top 10 at 1 mile last year. But this girl's done nothing but win her entire high school career. And so Katie is an exciting addition to our team, and I think has the potential to come in and be an All-American as a freshman. Libby Miller is a young woman a year ago. She's sitting on the sidelines at a Husky football game as a recruit, and she, she was pretty good, but not the caliber athlete that she ended up being as a senior. She was an All-American last year. She was 13th in the National High School Championships, and Libby, Libby was second place at the California State meet on the track, and she's a young woman that, her goals are to come in here, run in our top 5, and help make us better. And she's had a summer that I think will allow her to do that. Megan Morgan, a girl from San Diego, California. Megan, she's run, I think, one of the top 10 fastest times all time ever at the Woodward Park, cross country course in California. And Megan, I think, again, she's, a multi-time Foot Locker finalist and fully capable of coming in and running in our top 5. And then, Mackenzie Carter from Fayetteville Manlius High School in Utica, New York. All she's done is won 4 national high school championships as a team. And this young woman, the reason that I was super excited about adding her to our group is, she knows how to win, and she knows what it's like to be a part of a national championship team. And so she comes in and she has those expectations from day one. And then, then I think, the last piece of that puzzle is, is a young woman, her name's Chloe Curtis from Redondo Union High School in Southern California. And all she did last year was win the California State Championship at 1 mile. She's run 4:45, and she ran great for 2 miles. She runs good cross country. And so these 6 young women, they show up here and, they know nothing but, what it takes to win. And, they're going to make us better. It'll be fun. We won't run them in our first meet, on September 3rd. So they'll make their collective debut at our home invitational on September 18th. But they are an incredibly exciting group. And, and if, we'll add a couple more pieces to this group next year. But, we added 6 incredibly gifted young women to our group for sure.
I guess talk a little bit about you mentioned the meet on September 3rd against Washington State in, of all places, Ephrata. How'd that come about? I know you're from there.
That's a great question. We actually talked to, when JD was at Washington State, we had talked about doing something kind of in the middle of the state of Washington, and it just, I talked to my high school coach and my club coach from home, and they had some interest in hosting the meet, and so we decided that we're going to host a meet in Ephrata, Washington, and so we're going to host it on a grass field right next to Ephrata High School's football field. I won't say stadium; that'd be overstating that for sure. But so we're gonna run 4K race for women, 6K for men. Just a great way to kick off our year. And there's some excitement in small town Eastern Washington. There's not a lot going on at that time of the year, and so it'll be fun. And then on top of it, so we will come back from our training camp, head to Ephrata, and then we're gonna take our entire team to the Dave Matthews concert. So maybe that was the big reason we had a bunch. No, I'm just kidding. We are going to the concert, and it'll just be a fun trip for our team. And I think it's a great way to culminate, our kind of preseason part of it. We go to Fort Flagler State Park, so we're there for a week and train hard.
Friday or Saturday night?
What's that?
Friday or Saturday?
Our meet against the Cougars on Friday. I think race times are 5 p.m. for men and 5:30 for women.
So you're going to Dave on Saturday then?
And they're going to Dave Matthews on Saturday. Yeah. That's important to note, right?
He's there all weekend. So
I know. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it would have been excessive if we'd have gone to all 3 shows.
Have either of you guys seen Dave Matthews at the Gorge? I know it's a tradition here.
Nope.
I've never, but I know plenty of people that have, and it's supposed to be a blast. So I'm excited. The race is going to be exciting too, but I'm excited for the concert too.
That'll be fun.
I guess I got a question for both Christine and for Max. You guys have had a couple of years to learn from people from like Katie and Jake. What do each of you feel are now that you guys are leaders, what do you expect from your teammates, I guess?
Do you want me to start?
Go ahead.
Okay. I would say one thing is just being positive. We don't want people coming and being negative on our team because that brings down the whole team. And the other thing would be just knowing when to do your own thing. That's something that I've learned a lot about because some girls will come in and just try to stay with the top runners and then your body ends up getting beat up because that's not what you're used to. So just like learning to do your own thing and be okay with that.
Well, Coach mentioned earlier that we were talking about how our team has a good vibe going on, and that's definitely true, and it's definitely not by accident either. He's done a good job putting the team together, picking the guys that will run, that he thinks will mesh together, and over my last 4 years, I've learned that like we have a special opportunity here. We're not the biggest sport on campus, obviously, money-wise, but only like 20, 25 guys get to be in the club every year. So I think it's important to remember that we have a opportunity that not many people have as distance runners at a Division I Pac-10 school. And with this good energy that we have going on, if we can channel it and we have injury-free season, if I can be a good leader, if everything can keep meshing as it's going, we have October 30th circled on the calendar. So that's the Pac-10 Championships, and we just got to channel energy towards that day. We got a couple other important meets coming up too, but that's a big day for us, especially since we host it. So we're looking forward to that.
Now, why don't you guys talk a little bit about how your training's been going, personally?
Training has been going well for me.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been working out yet, but I'm going to start doing that soon. I was injured in track season, so we're
Right.
just building up slowly.
What type of injury did you have?
I had tenosynovitis of the FHL tendon. So it's inflammation of the tendon sheath of the tendon that goes to your big toe.
Okay.
Greg, I know you're worried about this season, but can you kind of look back over the last few years and just see the improvement that this whole program has made? It's literally skyrocketed. What's your impression of the overall impression of the way people view Washington cross country now?
I mean, I think the big thing is, remember 2008 getting phone calls from, buddies of mine that, work downtown Seattle, and all of a sudden people, over, the water cooler over a cup of coffee started talking about women's cross country. And, that's kind of strange in itself. But I think it was a collective process, from Anita Campbell as a freshman, our team, we missed making it back-to-back years. And I think that just our team became more committed, to, really accomplishing what we could accomplish here. And, our members, I've told the story a few times, but sitting in the tent after the NCAA championships in Terre Haute, we had just finished 9th place in 2007. And I really believe that our group missed an opportunity. I thought we could have won a trophy that day, and it just didn't happen. And we're sitting in the tent and, kind of talking about, hey, what can we do in 364 days from now? And, our group, I think everybody just did a better job. We had a great track season 2008 spring. And then we signed a couple of just incredible young women, Christine Babcock, and I think we had a great group of talented women on our team, but the expectations changed, and it started with going to camp and talking about goals, and it was the goal. Our goal was to get to November 22nd in Terre Haute, Indiana, with a shot to go win the NCAA championship, and along the way, being ranked number 1 in the country most of the season was. It was great for our team. And actually that year going to the national meet was probably, what our team had done at the Pac-10 championship, I think made the NCAA meet kind of, a little less, not that it wasn't important, but it was kind of a foregone conclusion as long as we didn't make mistakes, it would all work out. But it has changed. It's changed the expectation. It's changed just the quality of phone calls and email we get from recruits. Recruiting the people that have interest from around the country. That has changed, and And I think, one thing that, talking to other coaches at Washington, and talking to, to Coach McLaughlin, or and talking to Heather Tarr, or Michael Callahan, or Matt Thurman, when Jim McLaughlin wins NCAA championship and they come back, and Jim has the trophy, and you realize, man, you can win at the University of Washington. And when our team came back, Heather Tarr said it, she's watched us come off the bus, that trophy, and she was jealous and full of it. She said, we can win here, and that was their goal. And I think, I was just talking to Leslie Gallimore this morning about, her teams, and winning championships does not happen by accident. And, I think it was just something that our teams had discussed. And, and the most important thing is the young women on our team, they bought in and they believed in each other, and they believed what we were doing. And I love the word that we used to describe that group, as they were, we had incredible team synergy. And I think when you look at, when you're trying to get 5 women, go hit it on the same day and go have a great performance, you need that. And we had interchangeable parts that year. That year, Anita Campbell, had been to her 4th NCAA championship, and she was our 7th girl on the day. And Anita didn't walk away for 1 second disappointed. She knew in the last mile that we had won. And, and she finished, and it wasn't a big deal to her. But I think you add those things up, and it's changed the expectation of our group. I think it's changed the expectation of how we operate at the University of Washington in all of our sports. And I think, again, it made our team more visible. And then they put my face on the side of a bus, which is also scary. Well, they put my name on that. We have this big Husky bus, and they wrapped it in purple, and they put, I think, Coach Romar and myself, Jake Lockers, on the side of the bus, and so last year we're driving this team bus. We're at the NCAA championships in Eugene. We're going to this coaches function, and we're driving this to this winery 25 miles out of town. It's every time you take a right hand turn, you see my big smiling mug on the side of it, and so coaches all over America, they go, wait a second, they put some cross-country coach on the side of a bus. And but again, that says a lot as to where our program is, where it's come from and where it's going.
Are you flattered?
Flattered and frightened, yes. No, but no, it's very cool, and yeah.
Christine, how have you dealt with those? Obviously, you've seen those expectations skyrocket. Also, freshman year, you guys win a national championship. How do you view, UW cross country and the women specifically?
I would say I view us as, I don't know, it's hard to describe. Like the synergy Coach was talking about, just the connections that we have and how close we are all with each other is just something that I feel like is really unique, and that helps us run better because we know we can trust each other. I know my freshman year coming in, it was such a big jump from high school, and just to be like talking about a national championship, that was like sort of scary for me because I'd only ever won something as an individual, and just now it's every year, that expectation is already set up there, like how can we get there again, how can we do it again, and yeah, so I don't know.
The third place finish, nothing to sneeze at all, but after winning national championship the year before, how did you view that last year coming back with third?
I think it's definitely a disappointment, but at the same time, like there's so many things out of our control, We did our best, and other teams did too, and on that day we weren't the best, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean that we didn't work hard or we didn't do everything that we could have. It just wasn't the right day, the right time for us, so.
Any more questions?
All right, thanks, guys.
Awesome, thank you.